today. The topic is incarceration and social justice. And of course, we're talking to the Metropolitan Council person of Nashville, Tennessee, Jerry Maynard. And of course, Jerry, let us continue our conversation and give you an opportunity over the last 10 minutes to sort of freewheel it with us and give us some information that you think that we ought to have, you see, because you know what we need to know.
Well, Dr. Haynes, I appreciate this opportunity to talk. Social justice and incarceration is all linked, and as we talked about, it's all connected. Housing and where you are housed and whether you have transportation, access to public transportation, to jobs, to schools, to healthcare, it's connected. If you look at healthcare disparities, when you send a child to school and that child is malnutrition, or that child is sick, or that child does not have primary health care, or the parents are sick or grandparents are sick, that impacts on that child's experience. When you have adults who don't have jobs, when you have adults who don't feel like they have a hope for a job, that's connected. When you don't have economic development, which is job creation in a particular setting, if you don't have affordable housing,
that's right.
It all connects to social injustice. It all connects to incarceration of our young men and women. It all connects to men and women engaged in destructive behavior. It all connects to them joining gangs. See, you have to deal with all those aspects. You can't just have police officers going around arresting people. You really have to deal with job creation. You have to deal with education and the dropout rate. You have to deal with health care, and you have to deal with housing. And also, what is important is you have to give people hope. Good. President Barack Obama's election was mind-blowing because it gives people hope that if Barack Obama could be the first African-American president, then I can achieve anything. Good. And it opens your mind and gives you hope. And I think it's going to give hope to just a generation of people that say, if Barack Obama can do it, then I can become whatever God has for me, and believe that they are no longer limited.
All right.
Right? Limited by racism, limited by sexism, limited by where their neighborhood is. This is a man that grew up with a single mother. So we can't say that because I grew up in a single mother household,
the project or whatever,
I can't achieve. So that's the greatest thing about Barack Obama, is it gives hope to so many people. And so it also makes us accountable. And I was going to say to you in the last segment, I thank God for this opportunity. We have to look at not only Barack Obama getting elected, but now it is important for us who are elected at local office to be accountable, to look at why do we still have healthcare disparities? Why do we still have a high dropout rate among African-American males? Why do we still have joblessness the way it is? What are we doing for economic development in our cities? What are we doing for affordable housing? And if you're an elected official and we see that things aren't getting better, it may be time for you to move on. Or it may be time for us to elect somebody else, because under your watch, things aren't getting better. And so I'm encouraging young people to get involved in politics. I had some seminars back in 2006 and 2007, 35 and under, where I taught Politics 101, where I was trying to train young people to run for office, to run for council, to run for countywide office, to run for state representative, run for an office so that you can make a difference to change the lives of people in Davidson County and in the state of Tennessee. It's no longer good enough to say, I want to be reelected because I want to be reelected. Or don't run against me because I want to get reelected. That's not good enough. We want to know, what's your record? What have you done? What have you produced? Whose life have you changed for the better? That's why we should reelect you. And you shouldn't reelect me, Dr. Haynes. You shouldn't vote for me if I'm not producing. You better believe it. So I'm not just looking and celebrating Barack Obama as president. I'm looking for some results.
And I think the results will come.
Amen. I believe it.
That everything that I've heard tend to indicate that a lot of folks have found inspiration in reference to this. I know I teach at Tennessee State University, and talking to students there, that many of them have they have a better understanding and a better feeling in terms of their own responsibilities.
Called empowerment.
And I think that you're caught up in it, and I know that I'm caught up in it. And that it's a real responsibility that all of us have now.
I want to develop the leaders that are coming up. I don't care where they live. I don't care if they're in the projects. I don't care if they're in wherever they live. I don't care if they have a single parent, no parent, two parent. It doesn't matter. You can achieve. And what we want to do is provide the teaching, the training, the empowerment, and also the love, right?
Thank you. That's an important ingredient.
That's exactly right.
I think that you understand that. That's very, very important.
So that they can achieve, and they can become the leaders not only of tomorrow, but the leaders of today. And so I want to make sure that the generation behind me, I'm calling on people to take up the banner take up the banner and begin to look at these issues that we've talked about. One of the great issues that we've been dealing with as pastors is we started Pastors for Prevention of HIV and AIDS, which is a social justice issue.
Okay.
You know who's the #1 carrier of HIV and AIDS is African American women.
That's right, females.
Females. So what we have to do is, as pastors, we came together last year, we tested over 500 people in our congregations to test for HIV and AIDS, because testing is important. And then we want to engage in how do we prevent the spread of HIV and AIDS. How do we prevent that? So as pastors, we have to engage in social justice. And that's one of the things that we have to do. Be proactive. Be proactive. Whatever your issue is, get out there and see if you can find a solution. Not just talk about it, but get things done.
You know, that's one of the